Okay, so another Alex topic that a lot of you are ready to learn is listing isoelectronic systems. So isoelectronic means same number of electrons. So isoelectronic systems will be nuclei, they might be different nuclei, that are surrounded by literally the same number of electrons. So let's go to the periodic table and make sense of what I mean by this. So here's the periodic table. Our question asks for 10 electrons. So if I just go to the periodic table and I find a nucleus with 10 protons, I find neon because the atomic number is 10. That's the number of protons. That's what neon is. It's a nucleus that has 10 protons. If it's neutral neon, if the overall charge of the system is 0, then that means that the number of electrons and the number of protons are equal. So neon that's neutral has 10 electrons and 10 protons. Correct? So I could say that neon, neutral neon, has a number of electrons that's 10. If I want to come up with other systems that also have 10 electrons, I could just look nearby and add or subtract electrons to get to 10. So here's fluorine. Fluorine has how many protons? Has 9, right, because the atomic number is 9. So if it's neutral fluorine, how many electrons does it have? 9. Neutral, same number of protons as electrons, so it has to have 9 electrons to balance the plus 9 charge from the nucleus. If I want to have a system that has a fluorine nucleus with 9 protons in it and 10 total electrons, that means that I would have an extra electron, so the overall charge for fluorine would be minus. It would be an anion or fluoride, so it's going to be F minus. So far we've identified 2. F minus is isoelectronic with neon neutral because they both have 10 electrons. So far we have F minus. So for 10 electrons, we have F minus, neon. Let's do a few more. What charge would oxygen have to for it to be surrounded by 10 electrons? It would have to be -2. So neutral oxygen has 8. If you want to have 10 electrons total, that means there's 2 extra electrons. That's going to be an extra charge of 2 minus. So O2 minus. How about nitrogen? -3. It would have to be a -3 charge for the nitride ion to have 10 electrons total. 7 for the neutral nitrogen, plus 3 more, so it has a charge of -3. Every additional electron above and beyond the neutral element is going to subtract 1 from the charge. So it'll be like going from 0 to -1 when you add 1 electron, to -2 when you add 2, to -3 when you add 3. So nitride ion, N3 minus. Let's do a couple cations. So sodium, neutral sodium, how many protons does any sodium nucleus have? 11, right. How many electrons does neutral sodium have? Right. So it has 11 electrons and 11 protons as a neutral element. If I lose 1 electron, how many electrons will it have? It'll have 10. The charge will be +1. And it will be isoelectronic, meaning it has the same number of electrons as 2 neon. It will be a 10 electron system. So Na plus 1. How about magnesium? What charge would it have to have 10 electrons? +2, because it has a neutral charge as 12 electrons, 12 protons. But if you lose 2 electrons, that would be basically subtracting a negative, right? So removing a negatively charged electron adds 1 to the charge, so it would be +2 for losing 2 electrons. So Mg2 plus and K plus. So these are all isoelectronic systems, they all have 10 electrons total. Yay.